On a quiet morning in July 2018, a neighbor in Delhi's Burari area noticed something strange inside a house. 11 members of the same family were found dead, 10 hanging, 1 lying on the floor. There were no signs of forced entry, no suicide notes, only handwritten diaries filled with rituals and instructions. What initially appeared to be mass suicide soon became one of India's most disturbing and puzzling cases. This is the story of the Burari deaths, a case that blurred the line between faith, control, and psychological collapse. On the morning of 1st July 2018, in the narrow lanes of Burari, North Delhi, a locked house hid a truth so disturbing that it would shake the conscience of an entire nation when police entered the Chundawat family home and discovered 11 bodies arranged in an eerie, almost ritualistic silence. 10 hanging from the ceiling with their eyes blindfolded and mouths sealed, while an elderly woman lay lifeless in another room, an image so unnatural that it defied logic and immediately raised questions of murder, faith, madness, and obedience, marking the beginning of one of India's most chilling and psychologically complex cases, where the real danger was not an intruder from outside, but something growing quietly within the walls of the family itself. Immediately after the discovery on July 1st, 2018, the Delhi Police Crime Branch took over the investigation, treating the case initially as a potential mass murder due to the disturbing nature of the scene. However, forensic examination found no signs of forced entry, struggle, poisoning, or external assault, and post-mortem reports confirmed death by hanging for 10 members and strangulation for the elderly matriarch, with timings consistent across the household, indicating a single coordinated event. The turning point came with the recovery of 11 handwritten diaries from the house, which detailed rigid religious practices, claims of spiritual guidance received by Lalit Chundawat from his deceased father, and explicit instructions for a final ritual that closely matched the bindings, blindfolds, and arrangement of stools found at the scene. Based on physical evidence, forensic findings, and diary contents, police ruled out homicide, abetment by outsiders, or criminal conspiracy. There was significant public pressure and media demand for a CBI inquiry due to the scale and shock value of the case, but no CBI investigation was ordered, as Delhi police maintained that the evidence clearly pointed to an internal, belief-driven act with no criminal liability to investigate further. Instead, police consulted mental health professionals and behavioral experts, who concluded that the family was likely suffering from a shared psychotic disorder, also known as folie à famille, where one dominant individual's delusions are adopted by others through close emotional bonds and unquestioned authority. This expert input reinforced the police position that the deaths were not suicides in the conventional sense nor murders, but the result of a ritual performed under the genuine belief that divine intervention would save the family. Since there was no surviving accused person and no evidence of criminal intent by an external party, the case did not proceed to a criminal trial. The inquest and investigative findings were submitted to the magistrate, and the deaths were legally recorded as accidental deaths arising from a ritualistic act, bringing the matter to a formal close. The courts did not assign criminal responsibility, as Indian law requires intent and agency by a living accused, both of which were absent in this case. Legally concluded but socially unresolved, the Burari deaths remain cited in judicial, academic, and law enforcement discussions as a landmark example of how unchecked belief systems and unaddressed mental health issues can result in mass fatalities without any prosecutable crime, exposing gaps in preventive mental health intervention rather than failures of criminal law. Was it faith or fear, tradition or psychological manipulation? The Burari deaths may be explained on paper, but emotionally they remain difficult to accept. This case forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about belief, authority, and silence within families. What are your thoughts on the Burari case? Share them respectfully in the comments, and subscribe for more real stories that demand reflection.